At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free. With transparent video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth.
Cirrus is hiring technicians to finish the exterior of our aircraft. Located in state-of-the-art facilities, this fast-paced position comes with a $3,000 sign-on bonus, competitive pay, and excellent benefits. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Duluth FC Blue-Green Soccer here on the iFan Sports Network alongside our producer, Craig Morrissey, and our camera people, Tom Hansen and Tara Anderson, also alongside head coach Joe Mooney. This is Matt Johnson coming to you live from Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium here in Superior, Wisconsin, across the bridge, where the Blue-Greens opening up the business end of the season, shall we say, taking on Joy Athletic Club here in the semifinals of the NPSL North Conference playoffs here. The Blue-Greens, of course, last year went all the way to the national semifinals. A long way to go before we can say that's 2 years in a row, Coach. But it has to start somewhere, and tonight for the Blue-Greens, it begins against the Goats of Joy Athletic Club. Third time this season these two teams will meet. The Blue-Greens, the number one seed for this 2025 edition of the NPSL North Conference Tournament. Blue-Greens finished 7 victories, 1 loss, and 2 draws during the regular season of the NPSL North. In all games, 14 games played so far for the Blue-Greens this season, 10 victories, 1 defeat, and 3 draws. Tomas Pazzo in his first season, and the Blue-Greens playing the outright NPSL North Conference regular season title in their last outing, downing Siouxland United, second place team, and the number 2 seed for this tournament. 3-2 right here at the Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium in Superior. The Blue-Greens coming from behind in that contest, scoring 3 goals after halftime to win the NPSL North this season. And, Coach, it was an impressive comeback for the Blue-Greens. Really struggled for a lot of that match, but once they found the momentum, they really rolled through and put up a very nice victory against the Outlaws that night.
Yeah, Matt, I still don't know if I've come down from that game. The 3 goals that were scored, obviously the one on the pen, and then really, I mean, 2 worldies from Peter Pearson and from JJ as well. It really just showed some of the willingness to get through adversity, some of the resolve that this team has kind of shown all throughout the summer. You know, you go way back even to the first couple games, a couple of chances for them to come back from behind, and they always seem to find a way back into games. At times have been a bit of a slow starting team, but once they find their form in the game, there's really not much slowing them down.
Blue-Greens actually, as I mentioned, struggled a little bit early in that contest, had a bad turnover in the first half. They struggled to create chances and then had an untimely turnover midway through the first half of that contest against the Outlaws, and Joao Rocha of Siouxland United took advantage of it, firing a 20-yard shot past Blue-Greens keeper Stefan Schenk into the side netting in the 28th minute to give the Outlaws a 1-0 lead in that contest. That actually followed through through the intermission, but Duluth FC responded in the second half when a handball call was called against Siouxland United's Christopher Martial in the 18-yard box. Felipe Oliveira, the leading scorer this season for the Blue Greens, stepped to the spot and evened up the contest, scoring his 6th goal of the season to make it a 1-1 contest. Then Peter Pearson scored his first goal, as you mentioned, Coach, of the season with a rocket from the top of the 18 in the 81st minute to give Duluth FC the lead for good at 2-1. The Blue Greens forward J.J. Oyabamaji, as you mentioned, also, Coach, then sealed matters for the Blue Greens with his 3rd goal of the season in the 90th minute before Sergio Villagos of Siouxland United netted an additional tally in the 95th minute to make it a 3-2 final. Schenk going all the way in goal for the Blue Greens, who finished the regular season having scored 30 goals in all games while surrendering 11. Meanwhile, in the NPSL North, the Blue Greens didn't score as many goals during the regular season as we thought they might, Coach. 17 goals, but only gave up 8. So it's been a little bit of a different look this year. Blue Greens usually score quite a lot of goals. This year not scoring as much, but pretty solid as far as on the defensive side.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a few times, Matt, that there's just it's been a bit more of a pragmatic approach to the games. You'll see a lot more just kind of, I think, possession-orient to the game. They don't, they really haven't had that true number 9. We talk about JJ and what he's done, but it took him a bit to find his form. And now, what is he, 3 goals in the last 3 games or something close to that, right?
Yeah, he's got 3 goals on the season now.
Yeah, and so now that he's found that form, you wonder if that's what Duluth really needs to try to get get rolling in the goals department. But, that all said, Matt, a lot of wins. The record has indicated that they have found that form, but now is when it counts. And I think that they see a very strong side in this Joy Athletic Club. You look at the lineup here tonight, there's a lot of names in there we'll talk about throughout the evening, but there's players in that group that can punish you, and they've got a goalkeeper in Oscar Herrera who is very good at keeping the ball to the net, very good at the college level, has played had a couple cups of coffee at the professional level, and now we see him here tonight, and he can be a game changer, Matt.
Speaking of Joy Athletic, they finished 4 victories, 5 defeats, and 1 draw in the NPSL North this season, finishing in a 3-way tie for 3rd place with Sioux Falls Thunder FC and the Iowa Demon Hawks. All 3 of those teams had 13 points, and due to tiebreakers in the NPSL, the Goats are the number 4 seed, therefore playing the Blue Greens tonight, while the Thunder are the number 3 seed, taking on Siouxland United. We'll talk more about the other semifinal as we move on here tonight, but they're coming off of a loss in their regular season finale. Is Joy Athletic? They fell to the Sioux Falls Thunder 4-1. On their regular season finale on Saturday, June 28th. That game was played down at St. Thomas Academy in the Twin Cities metro area. In that contest, the Goats got off to a fast start, taking the lead in the 17th minute when Philip Caputo scored to give Joy Athletic a 1-0 lead, but the Thunder came back to get goals from Nick North in the 40th minute and A.J. Bowman in the 45th to take a 2-1 lead into the intermission, and from there, the Thunder went on to add tallies from North and Lewis Washley in the second 45 minutes, to make it a 4-1 final. And with that win, the Thunder, because of that 4-1 win, gained the tiebreaker advantage over the Goats to clinch that number 3 seed, while the Goats fell to the number 4 seed, and that is why they are playing in this game here tonight. So a frustrating end to the regular season for Joy Athletic, and it'll be interesting to see, because they've been off for a while, what they bring to the table here tonight.
Yeah, and again, Matt, when you've got a guy like Carver Tierney up top, Philip Caputo on the field, you've got difference makers. You've got guys that just give them an inch, and they can turn a game on its head, right? So, again, I think it's a terrific matchup. It's one that, if I was going to pick, if I'm Coach Pazzo and I'm thinking of who else do I want to play in this 4-team bracket, I think Joy is probably the last one that I want to play. So, that said, obviously, I think both teams coming in with a bit of confidence have kind of found their stride in the season. Makes for a great matchup here on a nice Wednesday night.
So that's the story here from Superior Choice Credit Union as the Blue Greens getting ready to begin the 2025 business portion of the season, quote-unquote the business portion, a.k.a. the playoff round here tonight against Joy Athletic. And with that being the case, we will take a quick audio break before we come back for the introduction of the 2 teams by our public address announcer, David Cook, the singing of the national anthem, and then the opening kick of this NPSL North Conference semifinal contest between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and the Goats of Joy Athletic Club. That's coming up in just a second or two, so stick with us. This is Duluth FC Soccer here on the iFan Sports Network.
choice, Credit Union Stadium. And tonight, NPSL North playoff matchup featuring the visitors from St. Louis Park. Joy Athletic Club. And from the shore, Lake Superior, your Duluth FC Blue Green. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters first for the visitors from Joy. Number 1, Oscar Herrera. Number 4, Noah Kantorowicz. Number 5, Bennett Boney. Number 7, Price. Number 9, Carter Tierney. Number 10, Philip Caputo. Number 19, Christopher Alderano. Number 25, Eric Riera. Number 32, Micah Volstead. Number 50, Jesse Juarez. And number 93, Jacob Morlock. The head coach of Joy is Enrique Enrique. Ladies and gentlemen, here is from Blue Green, your Pinky number 1, Alex Paredes. Number 2, Kenny Brenda. Number 3, Juan. Number 7, Felipe Oliveira. Number 10, Paulo Paola. Number 19, Alex Louis. Number 22, Leo. Number 26, Mark Donaldson. Number 29, Tyler Ferrero. Number 32, Peter Pearson. Number 36, Jay Oyama. The coaches, Blue Green. Head coach is Thomas Lazo. Assisted by Ricardo Navia and Gus Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's official are Andrew Dosh, Scott Connington, and Logan Walter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would drive, and you can sing along tonight. And because from Spooner, Lynn, and Kate Christner with tonight's national anthem.
So the national anthem has been played. The two teams have been introduced by a public address announcer here at SCCU Stadium, David Cook, and we're moments away from getting this one underway here between the Blue Greens and the Goats, a berth in the NPSL North Conference Championship game on Saturday on the line here between the Blue Greens and the Goats. Two previous matchups between these two teams during the year. The Blue Greens going 1-0-1 against the Goats this year. We'll talk more about those two matchups.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out all of the vendors beneath us tonight.
As we move along here in this broadcast.
You can grab some hot dogs, you can grab some
Getting the coin
jerseys.
flip right now.
We'll get a little bit more into it
From our
as well.
referees here tonight, Liam Pritchard wearing the captain's armband for Duluth FC, Bennett Kwame wearing the captain's armband tonight for Joy Athletic. Blue Greens in the home white jerseys here in this opening 45 minutes, going from left to right, and the Goats traveling blue jerseys with the white shorts, and I guess, what would you call that, pink numbers, I guess, for the Goats tonight, going from right to left here in this opening 45 minutes. Beautiful night for soccer, by the way. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Slight breeze here as we begin play here tonight, and Coach, couldn't really ask for better conditions for this one between the Blue Greens and the Goats here tonight.
Yeah, Matt, I'm going to get back to the numbers. I'm going to say fuchsia.
Fuchsia?
Somewhere between a fuchsia and a raspberry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you have daughters, okay.
I'll get them to weigh on.
Yeah, get them to weigh in on what the color is there. So the Blue Greens looking for their 11th win on the season. It's an interesting setup, by the way, this upcoming schedule for the Blue Greens. Unlike anyone that we've seen before going in the playoffs, Coach, they could be playing as many as 3 home games in playoff competition here before Sunday. So it's going to be kind of a logjam of schedule here if the Blue Greens continue to win. We'll explain why that is in a little bit here. But the Blue Greens are the number 1 seed in 2 different competitions in the postseason this year. First time that's ever happened in club history. And that's the reason for all the home games that are supposed to be coming up. So, like I said, we'll allude to those more as we go along here. But
yeah, Matt, I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk about some of the injuries, some of the, there's a suspension out there and just other considerations. And really, I think that where they are in the standings in both of those competitions points to the fact that Duluth is maybe just as deep, if not deeper, than they have been at any point in the history of the club.
As off the opening kick, Blue Greens going left to right. Thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday night. Long ball coming near side, and it'll be headed out of play. Erica Riera getting his head to it there for the Goats, and we'll have a throw coming up from Teddy Miranda here for the Blue Greens, the Ecuadorian outside back. And to start on the right side, he's kind of solidified himself as the right outside back later in the season here, Coach, for the Blue Greens, as this one is picked off by Griffin Price, sending it back toward the midfield stripe. Wandy now playing it over the top. Going by the single name from now on here, Wandy, number 3 in white.
Good job from Wandy there to pick up Felipe right off the bat.
Now ball on. Here's Oyabamaji across the front. They go. They shoot. They score!
Well, Matt, it's a little bit of a different look right now. You've got Obamaji out on the right as a winger to start out with. He's traditionally been more of a number 9. Liam Pritchard in the number 9 spot. And then obviously Alex Ruiz on the far side there. And already that shift in dynamic has paid off.
Well, I was about to say, Coach, against the Goats in the regular season, the Blue Greens fell behind in both contests, fell behind 1-0 in the opening couple minutes and the season opener way back at the beginning of the season, then fell behind 2-0 when the teams played their second contest back in June. But there will be no lead for the Goats here today, at least not at the beginning of the ball game, as the Blue Greens, it takes them all of 40 seconds. Alex Ruiz, his 5th goal of the season, the assist to J.J. Oyabamaji. And the Blue Greens off and running here, leading at 1-0 here.
Be interesting to see how they settle in now, Matt, because we talked about it. They traditionally have not been a very fast-starting team. They haven't played with a lead very often in the season. So you got to see, will it kind of calm them down a little bit, or do they kind of play with this kind of still heightened sense of urgency?
About as fast a start as you could probably ask for, Coach, especially in a playoff game. Is this one out of play? Throw coming up now, Riera in for former Blue Green Jesse Juarez. I don't know how many years now Juarez has been playing in the NPSL North. It seems like it's been a really long time. He's played for both the Blue Greens and also, of course, Joy Athletic. And I'll have a throw coming up near midfield here on the far side. 3rd minute already, a goal up on the board here for the Blue Greens. If you're just joining us, Alex Ruiz, his 5th goal of the season, the assist to J.J. Oyabamaji. And the Blue Greens out to a 1-0 lead as this one comes all the way back for Herrera. And if you're Joy Athletic, you got to settle things down a little bit here, don't you? After giving up that goal on basically the first shift of the game.
Yeah, and again, Matt, an early goal, it can be a momentum swing for one team, the other team. It can be a wake-up call for the team that concedes it. At times, it can actually put a little bit of pressure on the team that scores it. And at times, obviously, it just helps the team settle in. But I will say an early goal it changes the entire dynamic of the game.
And to bring this one down now is Carver Tierney, who scored all 3 goals that the Blue Greens gave up against Joy Athletic this year. Now here's Alex Paredes playing it over the top, and a half step off. It's going to be the Blue Green captain, Liam Pritchard. It'll be a free kick now here for the Goats.
Yeah, Matt, I would say he was probably a full step and a half off, just trying to get himself back on side there.
Blue Greens now with Teddy Miranda. Miranda will go all the way back now for Wandy in the middle. Getting the start with Luis Vergara unavailable for tonight. Now Paredes will send it to the far side for Mark Donaldson. Donaldson for the Blue Greens. Chipping it up now, looking for Pritchard. Pritchard starting in the middle alongside Felipe Oliveira, who is in the attacking center midfield role tonight. And we're going to have a foul called here on Tyler Guerrero. It'll be a free kick here coming up for Joy Athletic near midfield. And a quick start here is Jesse Juarez. Juarez swinging it now near side. Riera now taking the space. On the sideline, Griffin Price will play it back. Bennett Kawami. Now for Caputo, edge of the 18. Cross comes into the middle. That one headed out by Peter Pearson. And the game winner, I guess technically not the game winner officially, but gave Duluth FC the lead for good against Siouxland United in the 81st minute in their regular season finale against Siouxland United on this field. Last Saturday, gets the start here tonight, 32 in white. He's had his numbers and his minutes increase as the season has gone on. Tatum Miranda now will have a throw near side.
One of the matches I'm really looking forward to tonight, Matt, is that one right there between Peter Pearson and Philip Caputo. Again, Caputo, such a staple in the NPSL North over the last couple of years.
There's a ball now coming in. Here's Liam Pritchard with a shot. He scores!
Great finish there from Pritchard. Just drew Herrera out. Got him to bite on the first look and put it low, far corner. Great timing of his run there. You saw him offside on his first run, Matt, but he fixed it for this one.
Pritchard with the goal, his 4th of the campaign, and the Blue Greens 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. And I'm not sure I expected this start, Coach, but I'll take it. 2-0 in favor of the Blue Greens here.
Scoring goal, captain, 22,
So now if you're Joy Athletic, you really got to settle things down here, down by a pair, Coach. Still a lot of game, of course, 85-plus minutes, depending on stoppage time as well, but can't think of a worse start if you're the Goats at this point, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, to go on the road, Matt, and to give up 2 goals early like that, obviously that can dampen spirits. Be interesting to see how they kind of get back into the game. What do they do to just kind of calm nerves and find their way back into it?
Here's Tyler Guerrero now. I believe had the assist on that last goal. Have to go back and look. Don't quote me on that. In the meantime, now this is Carver Tierney, again, the guy who had all 3 goals against the Blue Greens this season for Joy Athletic in their 2 previous matchups. As the Goats now switch it near side. This is Eric Riera. Griffin Price now coming near side. Back for Riera. Now Tierney trying to get a shot away, and he'll zing that one high and over the bar with the left foot. And that's the first look that the Goats have had. But
well, Matt, how do you try to climb back into a game?
Yeah.
Get the ball into your playmaker's hands, right? And so you saw in this sequence, into Tierney early in the sequence, into Caputo eventually, and then finally finding Tierney again.
This ball forward now headed down. Riera. Juarez. Now Price will go all the way back in the middle. And this is Jacob Morlock, number 93 in blue. Will play it forward now for Joy Athletic. Riera, near side Price. Playing it forward. Wandy now will try to shield that away from Caputo. And we'll clear it away. We'll have a throw here coming up.
But, Matt, I had started to say before the goal, the matchup that I'm really looking forward to is between Caputo and Pearson. We've talked about Peter Pearson at length throughout the season, and my guess is going to be that Caputo is going to have to drift out wider and wider to try to shake Pearson, who's going to play more of a traditional number 6 role tonight.
Ruiz now continuing it on off the turnover. Guerrero for the Blue Greens. Pritchard now on the left wing. Liam Pritchard now with some room to operate. Comes to the edge of the 18. We'll play it back now for Ruiz. Alex Ruiz and Pritchard, the 2 goal scorers, hooking up here on this passing sequence. Now the ball comes back for Tabo Malala. Malala's ball across, picked off by Price. Good read there by number 7 in blue.
Cannot play that ball square there, Matt.
No. And now Caputo trying to chip it over the top and left that one wide. Sopratis was a little bit off of his line, tried to go over the top of the Duluth FC goalkeeper, but left it wide. And now the Blue Greens quickly back to the way with Mark Donaldson, who has been about the biggest steady Eddie in the back you could possibly have this season.
Anywhere he's played, Matt, he's been terrific.
Now the ball coming back, and this is Kantorowicz now on the right foot. It's been a while since these 2 teams played, and they last met on June 17th, so it's been about 3 weeks.
One of the things you've seen here already, Matt, is Felipe Oliveira just drifting a little bit higher into that next plane, and what that does, again, Pritchard's not a traditional number 9. He doesn't love to play with his back to goal. He likes to get in open spaces and try to stretch the back line. And what Oliveira does is he gets up on the back line, and that allows Pritchard to start to float out wider and wider into the half spaces. And when he does that, he can be really dangerous because he's going to find more opportunities to isolate 1v1 there.
Ball back down for Wandy in the middle. He'll play it now near side. Here is Miranda back for Wandy in the middle.
And, Matt, if you're either one of the Joy fullbacks, you do not want to see Liam Pritchard isolated 1v1 with you.
No, very quick, very pacey is Liam Pritchard. We've documented that through his 3+ years as a Blue-Green.
When he's good at pulling a defender wide and in recognizing the cues of when he's going to get that ball fed through. So he'll pull you wide, and he's really good at recognizing the cue and then just darting into that space that he creates for himself.
Guerrero on the throw. He gets it in now for Donaldson. And now they'll play it all the way back for Alex Paredes. Paredes, Wandy now. And to go to ground to keep that play alive, and now he'll release it for Felipe Oliveira. Oliveira, the leading scorer for the Blue Greens with 6 goals this season. Continues it on, Oyabamaji. Back for Oliveira. Felipe Oliveira has Teddy Miranda with him. And going to ground to tackle that out is going to be Riera. It'll be a throw here for the Blue Greens.
Yeah, and you see Peter Pearson there coaching Miranda, just saying, you had your triangle formed. We got numbers down there defensively. Just get it back into your number 6 and let him switch the point of attack.
And that one last out off of Miranda. It'll be a throw here coming up. Looks like it'll be Griffin Price. Check that. It'll be Kantorowicz that'll take the throw. Or maybe it's Riera. It is Riera, who's had a busy start to this one. Now Price. Tight quarters. Out off of Oliveira. It'll be another throw here for the Goats. We'll see if the game settles a little bit now, Coach. We've, in the 12th minute, 2 goals for the Blue Greens already. The throw comes in now, Malala. Ruiz. Tabo Malala now. Lays it back for Mark Donaldson. Donaldson now will switch it near side. Here's Miranda. Miranda continuing it on now. Oyabamaji near side, and it's tackled out. And they're going to say last touch by JJ, so it'll be a throw coming up here. Again for the Goats, deep in their own territory.
And there again you saw Felipe just breaking the higher line, giving that defender 2 things to think about.
Miranda flicking it over the top now. And offside against Liam Pritchard. It'll be a free kick.
Sorry, Matt, he just drifted offside there, and I don't think he or anybody else in the stadium expected Miranda to try a bicycle kick from the touchline.
Oscar Herrera, who's already had picked 2 balls out of the back of his own net, will give this ball a ride now to the far side. A couple players rising up for it, Donaldson and Caputo.
Good bit of skill there from Folstad to stay in possession of the ball.
Micah Folstad now back for Riera. Blue Greens have found a lot of joy on this right sideline here so far, Coach. Both goals have come from that side.
Yeah, and you look at the squad tonight, Matt, and Felipe hasn't started many games in the last few games. JJ hasn't started very many games. And it's been kind of one of these curses for them of their own success where they've been successful coming into a game in the second half and changing the game.
A long ball over the top from Kantorowicz and
scoring big goals in the second half. And so as a coach, you look at that and say, well, do I reward the guys that are scoring, or do I stick with a system that has proven to get results? But obviously playoff time here, and you make the final tweaks that you need to really get your best 11 out there. And I think Coach Tomas has found exactly that.
Yeah, this is, I think, the lineup that he would probably prefer to go with now for the rest of the playoff run for the Blue Greens here down the stretch.
Obviously, if Luis was available tonight, he'd be in that mix. But otherwise, I really think this is the 11 that they would really try to go with.
Yeah, Luis Vergara not available tonight. I would venture to say, would most definitely be a starter tonight if he was available, but he's not. But like you said, this is basically the 11 or 12 that I think that Coach Pazzo is probably going to go with at the start of playoff games here from here on out.
Well, and with the way Donaldson has played this year, and Wandy as well for that matter, every bit of confidence in them to handle the center of the defense.
Here's Malala now. Oliveira outside Oyabamaji. JJ Oyabamaji against two players now, trying to make a speed move to the end line, and it'll go out of play. And I think he's going to get whistled for a foul, or maybe just a regular goal kick here coming up for Herrera.
Yeah, he tried to highlight Riera there and just couldn't get around him, and a little overzealous coming through the back.
Price now flicking it with his chest forward. And it comes in the Blue Greens 18. Here's Alex Paredes.
But, Matt, we mentioned it, again, Vergara is absolutely a perennial starter for Duluth. But you've got two center backs back there that have proven their worth as well. But I think what it could do, or could have done, is allowed for Donaldson. We've seen him just play all over the pitch. I was laughing with him this weekend. I guess some of his relatives had said one of the announcers called you a Swiss Army knife on the broadcast. Is that a good thing? Just to clear it up for the folks back in Scotland, yes, it is a good thing.
Yeah.
We're talking about his versatility.
A jack of all trades, shall we say? Yeah, we'll go with that.
How much fun has he been to watch this summer, Matt?
He has been very good, yeah. Swiss Army knife, for those of you who don't know. It's an instrument that has many, many uses. And it's become kind of part of American discourse to reflect somebody who can do a little bit of everything, and Mark Donaldson certainly fits that bill. He has played, like I said, all over the field here. Wandy now sending it back. Here's Paredes back for Wandy near side. And out of play. Pearson and Oyabamaji might have gotten crossed up on that one. Now here's a quick throw. Here's Griffin Price. Price, nice tackle there by Oyabamaji. Coming back defensively. Now ball forward. That one intercepted by Jacob Morlock here for the Goats. Here's Kawami now. In the middle for Caputo, trying to lift it over the top. Miranda will take it wide. And then he'll overshoot the intended recipient of that pass, that being J.J. Oyabamaji. It'll be a throw here coming up in the 17th minute. 2-goal lead here for the Blue Greens. Goals in the first and 6th minutes for Duluth FC tonight. Ruiz his 5th, Pritchard his 4th. And the Blue Greens off to a 2-goal lead here. Now ball forward off the right foot of Jesse Juarez. Caputo into the 18. Crossing one in over the top of everybody. And Paredes will run to the far side and grab it off the turf here at Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium. Wait for his teammates to get forward.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Guerrero got a touch on that or not, Matt. It would have created a corner kick if he did, obviously. But Polo just getting to it and making sure to keep it in play.
Here's Riera now flicking one forward right at the midfield line. It's Oyabamaji for Duluth FC. Wandy in the middle now will go all the way back for Paredes. Now Donaldson Ruiz checking back. Now Oliveira.
Just a miscue there between Ruiz and Oliveira.
Benakwame now. Pearson off the intercept here for the Blue Greens. Game settling in a little bit now, Coach, as we're about to move into the 19th minute. Here's Kantorowicz now going all the way back for Herrera in the 18. Near side's Morlock. Jacob Morlock, long ball through the middle. Carver Tierney coming back for it now. Juarez. And here's Riera. Seems like the Goats have kind of settled in a little bit now, knocking the ball around just a little bit, trying to get a feel for the game, I think.
Yeah, you can tell they found their footing a little bit, Matt, and just a little bit more possession. On the last clearance from Duluth, they only sent Pritchard forward to try to track the ball down. Really, the first 18 minutes, it seemed like every ball that went forward was a full team effort to squeeze that space, just indicating that Duluth had so much pressure. They didn't really have anything to really contend with in behind them.
Now Herrera will give it a ride toward midfield. Pearson, well done to pick out Ruiz with the header. Here's Tabo Malala now. Oliveira has it taken off of his foot. Now Caputo trying to measure it. And Phil Caputo now on the right foot. Former St. Cloud State Husky on the right foot now for the Goats. Goes to the far side with it. Another turnover, though, as Pearson picks that off. Liam Pritchard now. And Oliveira about a yard or two off, so we'll have another free kick here for the Goats. That's the kind of opportunity that Liam Pritchard really relishes. He likes to get into that space, Coach. A true wing player.
Yeah, well done from Morlock there. You saw, had the ball come about a half second earlier, Felipe would have been well onside. Morlock stepped just as Felipe had started to take his stride forward. Well-timed offside trap from the center back there.
Caputo now sending it far side, like a full stad. Taking it on now. Caputo into the middle. Here's a shot, and they score. See who it is who gets the goal. Is it Caputo? It's Griffin Price that gets the goal. So Griffin Price off the assist from Caputo. And we have ourselves a ball game again. 2-1 your score. As off the kick now, the Blue Greens playing it all the way back now for Paredes.
Well, Matt, we were just talking about Joy kind of had found their way back into the game. It didn't take many sequences for them to find space in behind the Duluth defense. Well done from Caputo as well to create there. He's not just a goal scorer. He can be the guy that plays it in as well, and obviously you see him create when he gets isolated in those half spaces.
Kind of a nifty playmaker. On that far side is Phil Caputo. Think about the season he had for the Huskies this past year.
Yeah, terrific season for them.
Now here's Price Malala now picking it off. Oyabamaji now coming forward. Has Miranda with him. Squares it to the outside. Teddy Miranda is crossing ball in the middle. Juarez getting ahead to it. Now they'll clear it back toward midfield where Wandy will retrieve here for the Blue Greens. 2-1 now your score. Griffin Price the goal. Philip Caputo the assist. Made a nice move, too, on the cross. I thought Paredes for a second was going to make the save on it, Coach.
Yeah, I think he got a hand on it or maybe a knee even on it, Matt. Wasn't a ton of pace on it.
No, that's what I was.
But Price just did a good job to get, first touch. It was almost coming away from him a little bit. He did well to just get it on frame, hit it before the goalkeeper really gets time to shift over.
Now the pass for Price near side, that'll go out of play.
You can call it a tap-in goal, Matt, but I've seen plenty of players sky it in those instances. Yeah. So well done from Price there to just get it on frame, like we said, and really get Joey back into the game a bit.
It's been highly efficient both ways. Seems the team's taking advantage of the opportunities, that's for sure. And this one will go out of play. It'll be a throw note coming up here for the Blue Greens near side. So 3 goals in the first 22 and a half minutes. Makes for good broadcasting, I'll say that.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, Matt.
And there'll be a throw now for the Goats. Winner tonight, by the way, as I mentioned earlier on, will advance to the NPSL North Conference Championship match. That'll be played on Saturday. The Blue Greens win. They'll be here. Take on the winner between the Sioux Falls Thunder, and also Siouxland United, who are playing tonight in the other semifinal. Blue Greens also have a home playoff date with St. Paul Blackhawks in the Minnesota Super Cup on Sunday. So that's what we were talking about when we were talking about the jammed-up playoff schedule here for the Blue Greens.
Yeah, it's a busy week.
Back-to-back games, home playoff games that the Blue Greens win on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm not quite sure if those times are official, but the game I know on Sunday is scheduled for 4 o'clock. And if the Blue Greens win and they host the winner between Siouxland United and Sioux Falls Thunder, that would be, I believe, a 7 o'clock start on Saturday. Again, don't quote me on any of that. There's so much that has to happen for all that to come to fruition, but that's what the Blue Greens are looking at if they win here tonight. So a lot of soccer for Duluth FC over the next few days if they are able to emerge out of here with a victory here tonight. In the meantime, a throw now for Duluth FC near side. It'll be Teddy Miranda that'll take it. Liam Pritchard over the top. Here, Kwame. Pritchard off the side of his left foot. Right back for Liam Pritchard. And now he's going to play it into space here for J.J. Oyabamaji. Jacob Morlock coming over to defend. Oyabamaji, inside-out move, taking it deep. Crossing it back post. Ruiz rising up for it, and that one will go down and skip to the right, and Herrera will take the opportunity to grab it off the turf here.
Good bit of skill there from JJ, and I think he wanted to kind of drive diagonally. He held his run up, though, to allow for Felipe and Ruiz to also join in the attack. Smartly done by him.
Wandy coming over, getting that ball cleared away from danger, and now here is Duluth FC's Tyler Guerrero. Carrying now, there's about 4 Joy players there as he crosses it into the 18, and then getting dumped from behind is Pritchard by Morlock, who had something to say, I think, to him on that.
Well, it's one of the things you teach your center backs, Matt, is every ball that goes back in your goalkeeper, even if you think it's an easy chance for him to go scoop it up, you always shepherd. I call it shepherd the ball back to it, right? Yeah. So make sure that there's just no chance that forward gets any kind of a look at it.
Crossing ball from Ruiz, back post, no, Oyabamaji. Volleys it into the 6, nobody there in a white jersey, and now we're going to have a foul called on Pritchard maybe? I don't know. There's 2 guys in the goal. Pritchard is down. He's been tangling with Morlock the last minute or so, and
yeah, and the official's going to tell them both to kind of separate and part ways there. And I think it was Morlock that gave him a little shove after the fact. And then offers a hand, and Liam wants something to do with it. That'll be a fun battle to watch here the rest of the half. I do think it's important, Matt, considering the last goal from Joy. I think it's really important for Duluth to try to get another goal here before half.
Here's Oyabamaji now for the Blue Greens. Teddy Miranda now on the right foot.
Coming out with a 2-1 lead versus a 3-1 lead, it changes all the tactics. It changes a lot of the momentum coming into the second half.
Donaldson will leave it now. Guerrero. Mark Donaldson now for Duluth FC. Pass a little bit off the mark. There is Malala, though. Nice flick for Ruiz. Now he'll switch it for Oyabamaji. J.J. Oyabamaji. Under hit the overlapping run there of Miranda.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with himself on that one because Miranda had space to run into.
Yeah.
And he did exactly what you want to do as a forward in that situation. You sense that the fullback is overlapping. You drive central to try to pull their left fullback in with you. And as soon as that overlap comes, you play him into space, and that's where you see a good, a high percentage goal creation coming, Matt.
2-1 your score. All 3 goals coming on the opening 21 minutes as Morlock stands over this one. Get the feeling there's going to be more goals to be scored in this game, though, Coach, the way that the two teams are playing here.
Yeah, there's been an open throttle feel to it already.
Morlock standing over this one on the left foot. Sky to the far side of the field. Donaldson on the intercept. Now Kawami. Kantorowicz. And now Morlock on the left foot. Jesse Juarez trying to go outside. And now here's Oliveira trying to check back. Couldn't settle, and now it's Kawami. Michael Folstad now will go back for Kawami. Duluth FC right now content to surrender possession, looks like near midfield for the time being, Coach. The ball goes far side now. Caputo, left-footed ball. Under hit it. Wandy on the head ball clearance for Duluth FC, and now a chance to counter back. Ruiz.
He's going to be just off there, Matt.
Yeah, that's a good call. Had a good look at it. It's been an animated night here so far for Liam Pritchard. Free kick here now for the Goats as we're into the 30th minute. No cards as of yet, been pretty clean.
Yeah, I think Liam needs to be a little bit careful here if he wants to stay out of the book. He's just drawn the referee's attention now twice in a row. Once with the little tangle up with Morlock there in the goal, and now just playing the ball after the whistle.
There's Malala now. And Ruiz goes down, no call. And Guerrero just hit it hard there off of Michael Folstad to draw a goal kick.
Yeah, and you see Peter Pearson having a word with the center official and just saying you're going to have to calm the game down a little bit. It's plays like that on Ruiz, it's a really easy call to make. Whether or not he really got a lot of Ruiz's foot or ankle, I guess is kind of irrelevant in a play like that. You make the call just for leaving the leg in, and you take a little bit of the angst out of the game.
Now we're going to have a foul called here on Felipe Oliveira. And that actually looked pretty light compared to some of the stuff that we have not seen called as of yet. Herrera now, top of his own 18, gives it a ride near side for Price. That's going to be over the top of everybody. Throw now for Miranda. 32nd minute of a 2-1 contest here in this NPSL North Conference semifinal. Matt Johnson, Coach Joe Mooney, our producer Craig Morrissey, and our camera people Tara Anderson, and broadcasting legend Tom Hansen here with you from Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium as Oyabamaji dispossessed.
Yeah, he had actually on a diagonal through ball to Alex Ruiz. If he would have seen it, he could have sprung Ruiz into space there.
Leaving it back, here's Caputo coming back toward midfield. His ball through the middle, picked off by Pearson. Now it's Malala. Oyabamaji in the middle. Been moving him around a little bit tonight as well, Coach. JJ more of a straight-up forward, more of kind of a number 9 in his makeup. As now being dragged down is going to be Liam Pritchard, and we'll have a talking to now to Bennett Kawami, the two captains coming together there in that exchange.
Yeah, and you can just start to see in the body language of the officials. I don't think this half will make it through without a card. I think he's going to need to go to his pocket at some point.
And the dialogue is becoming more and more extended, Coach, with each foul.
Yeah, playoff game, the temperatures are up there a little bit more, and I would be surprised if the next foul or two doesn't warrant a card.
Standing over this one now is Ruiz on the left foot. He has a goal tonight, the first goal for the Blue Greens in the first minute. Bending ball comes in, headed by Miranda in on goal, and that one will be nabbed by Oscar Herrera in his 6. He'll hold on to it here. Kawami now to the far side, Kantorowicz. Now Felipe Oliveira. It's one of the things that the Blue Greens have done a lot of over the years, Coach, is a lot of high pressing from their forwards, especially out on top. Title limmer for years. And now here's Malala. And then leave this ball short. He was trying to spring Pritchard on that one. Now it comes right back for Tabo Malala. But good job there by the native of Lesotho. Take that ball off of Morlock, who wanted a foul call, none forthcoming.
Yeah, he read it well.
Pritchard now chipping that one up. Oliveira, right back for Liam Pritchard. Angling ball, and overshot Oyabamaji, who had all kinds of space on the right side.
I love that Liam has that confidence to just take it on the half volley and send it out wide. He's about a shoelace off from connecting there with Obamaji, and there would have been numbers going forward had they connected on that.
Throw coming up now near side. Looks like it'll be Riera that'll take it. Miranda getting inside position on Jesse Juarez. Now Miranda will go all the way back for Wandy in the middle, who's been solid tonight. Now Mark Donaldson. Switching the point now, far side. This is Tyler Guerrero. And that one will deflect out. Will be a throw for the Blue Greens right at the midfield stripe here. 35th minute.
How about this crowd tonight?
Yeah, really good crowd since they made the move over.
It looked a bit sparse. I was a bit worried right around the time of the anthem. You know, it looked like maybe a half-full stadium, but you look down there now, and there really isn't a lot of space between any of the seats. They're just about at capacity.
This is the 4th or 5th time the Blue Greens have played on this field this season, and each game has been very well attended. I've been very impressed myself with the turnout.
Yeah, it's just over 1,000-seat stadium, Matt, and again, I don't see a lot of empty seats down there. There's folks standing on the fence line on either side as well, so.
Paredes now. To the far side, here's Donaldson. Trying to spring Guerrero. Kantorowicz with the read, but he'll be unable to keep it in play. It'll be another Duluth FC throw here coming up as the game is really settled in now. Might become a chess match the rest of the way here between the two sides, Coach. First time these two teams met, of course, was across the bridge over at Walt Hunting Stadium. That was a come-from-behind 3-1 Duluth FC victory. That came back in May, by the way. That was a season opener for both teams.
Yeah, Carver Tierney scored a great header goal on that.
And that gave Joy a 1-0 lead. And Duluth FC came back to score 3 straight to win it 3-1. 2 of those goals coming from Felipe Oliveira, by the way, who's starting right now, as of course, or playing right now in the middle. 2 of Oliveira's 6 regular season goals for Duluth FC as this ball now clipped over the top. And Paredes, an aggressive goalkeeper, comes out to play. Now Oyabamaji. And that's going to be a foul called on Oyabamaji.
Yeah, and the crowd won't like that one. I think JJ just got an arm around Riera there.
Morlock will restart the play here. Kawami. Now Morlock on the left foot. Gives that one short. Donaldson as controlled as ever. Saying that from Malala. Now it's Ruiz. Oyabamaji. This time he does have some space to run into. JJ Oyabamaji has an assist in the game. Now Malala. Might have taken a little bit of a shove there.
Yeah, he did. I'm actually surprised that didn't get called. I know he got the shot off, Matt, but it certainly threw him off balance as he was trying to strike that.
Now Ruiz back to the direction. Ruiz with that left foot. Maybe carried a little bit too deep there. Now Price. Here's Carver Tierney, who's had a quiet first half. Number 9 in blue. In the middle now. Alvarado will send it to the far side. And a crossing ball overshooting Price on the back post. It'll be a goal kick here coming up for Paredes. Haven't heard much, though, from number 9. Again, he had 3 goals against the Blue Greens in the 2 games during the season. And other than that first shot he took, he's been pretty quiet so far here today, Coach.
Well, he's had to drop so far off the line to try to get involved in the play. And he can do it. He's obviously serviceable coming off the line and playing with back to goal. But obviously where his main threat comes in is he's deadly in the box.
He's got good size to him. Guerrero now. Spots Oyabamaji, switches the point, near side.
See if he
Miranda
can do better
on the
with this overlap here.
Yeah, Miranda with the overlap. Oyabamaji carrying. Flag stays down. Ball in the middle now. Oliver trying to turn. And nobody there in white as it's cleared away. Back up the middle by Kantorowicz. And there is the aforementioned Carver Tierney now coming back for it.
Yeah, I would like to see JJ play that one a lot earlier. He had Teddy on the overlap and kind of killed the run.
There's Juarez, and the pass is well behind Griffin Price, who was making a run up the sideline, and Juarez played it to where he was. Emphasis on the word was. Now Pearson off the throw in. Guerrero is hitting that ball. Putting his hand up on that one.
What do you think, Matt? Jesse Juarez has got to be in the top 10, like, current players.
In terms of appearances, I would say. Yeah,
well, I'd say, yeah. Just longest tenured in the NPSL North.
He played that year with Duluth FC. That was one of the Duluth FC teams that won the North Conference. Now Miranda, good pick out there by Malala. As we're about to go into the 41st minute now.
This is one we talked about last week, Matt, is when it gets stalled on the one side, can you switch the point of attack?
And switching the point has already come quicker than it did against Siouxland United. Guerrero now lifting it up. Oyabamaji ducking down the leg ball for Miranda. Teddy Miranda inside out against Price, and that one will go out of play, but yeah, the switches have been much more on point tonight, Coach, than they were against Siouxland United in that first half last Saturday.
Yeah, just some of the sharpness lacking here in the last few minutes. Some of these sequences, Matt, you know, there's one there where I'd like to see Miranda just, again, get it off his foot. You have to sense that the double is coming. Play it back into Tabo, keep possession.
Here's Ruiz. And now he'll go back for Donaldson near midfield. Donaldson. Ball to the far side now for Guerrero. Guerrero, high arcing cross into the 6. Oyabamaji trying to keep the play alive. And we play on until we don't because of the whistle.
Well done from both parties there to keep that ball in play. I thought earlier, Oyabamaji was going to play it over the line for a goal kick, and then it was Riera that actually turned it, and I thought for sure he was going out for a corner, and a good bit of skill from both players, great body control, and good footwork just to keep that ball in play. Good battle between the two of those tonight.
Free kick taken now. And Herrera will just let this one come in now as we approach the 45-minute mark here.
I wonder, Matt, at some point if we won't see Liam Pritchard just switch with Oyabamaji for just a bit.
Good head ball win there by Wandy in the middle.
See if it's a different kind of a matchup between.
Nice touch there. Now on the outside, here's Oliveira. Felipe Oliveira now for the Blue Greens. Making a move into the 18. And they're going to call a foul on the Blue Greens again here.
Oh, he's called him offside, Matt.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I didn't see the flag from my angle here. Now the quick restart. Here's Price, the goal scorer for the Goats. hitting it over the top, and that was more hopeful than anything else, I think. Caputo looking back as if to say, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's when your forwards are going to be frustrated. You've just won the ball. You elect to play it out quickly and
Miss-hit the ball.
Yeah.
Throw coming up now for Miranda, near side.
But when you're the lone goal scorer, you get a little bit of grace, right?
Just maybe a little bit over anxious, too. That's one of those things, too, where maybe you try to hustle up the play a little bit too fast, get going a little bit too quickly with your thought process, and then not sorting your feet out. Now ball back. Here's Donaldson. Real luxury for the Blue Greens, by the way. Speaking of Mark Donaldson, to not have Luis Vergara, who's been playing in the middle defensively all year, and just really not skip a beat. As this ball over top now, here is Oyabamaji lifting it up. Herrera might have gotten a piece of him, and they're going to call it. Yep.
Right call.
And Morlock going to come over and complain to the near side AR.
No, it's the right call. He didn't get the ball. He got the player. Even though JJ got the shot off, you've still made contact after the ball was released, and you have to call the foul.
Yeah. Yeah, Oyabamaji, his game is really made for a field that has this nice width to it, too. And when he gets that space, he's very dangerous in a one-on-one situation. And that was a well-played ball over the top. And
yeah, and you feel for Herrera there because obviously, you know, he's committed to trying to make the stop. There's no malice in it. It's a foul. And now the center official, you see him trying to just clear out the
Joy players. Oyabamaji, by the way, going to take a second here to collect himself, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm sure he caught maybe a knee into the back or the hip.
And Morlock going to come over and check and see if he's all right. I'd like to see that kind of sportsmanship, just making sure that everybody's keeping cool heads here.
Yeah, it's smart, especially, again, playoff time. Man, I'll tell you, if you want anybody on penalty kicks, you've got a guy in orange down here on the one side and Alex Paredes. But to have a Herrera in the net, no stranger to penalty kicks and no stranger to making big saves.
And here's Liam Pritchard now. Pritchard, who has one goal tonight. His fourth of the season came in the 6th minute. We'll see if he can make it a brace for the night here.
If you noticed, Felipe Oliveira standing over the ball while the referee was trying to get the Joy players out of there. That's by design.
Whistle blows. Pritchard on the approach. Gets saved. There's Herrera making the big save. Now Oliveira turning and trying to get the shot away. And nice job by Herrera. He keeps Joy within striking distance here. It'll be a corner kick, the first of the match.
Boy, I told you. I mean, it's a good strike from Liam. Picked out his corner. He really didn't telegraph it, I didn't think. But Herrera guessed the right way, and you see the extension from him because that ball was not far off the post. Really good save from Oscar Herrera there. And
He should have the time. They have the time out there.
Bending ball now off the corner, up the middle now. Oyabamaji trying to go for it, and then Morlock clearing it away, and now Price on the run. Nice spin move there by Griffin Price, and now hitting it to nobody. It makes me wonder sometimes.
Peter Pearson thought he had a goal there, Matt.
Yeah, he did.
In the 6, ball right in front of him, and just I didn't see who got his leg in front of it, but last-ditch tackle there.
So an action-packed first 45 minutes are in the book here in this NPSL North Conference semifinal match from Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium here in Superior. 2-1, the Blue Greens will take the lead into the break. All 3 goals scored in the first 21 minutes, and we've also had a penalty kick save in this game. Herrera stopping William Pritchard from getting his second of the night. Recapping the scoring in that open 45 minutes, Alex Ruiz in the first minute from J.J. Oyabamaji to make it 1-0. Then Pritchard in the 6th minute, his 4th goal of the season to make it 2-0. And then in the 21st, Griffin Price from Philip Caputo to make it 2-1. That's where we stand here. Entertaining first half, Coach. It'll be an interesting second 45 minutes as well.
A little something to everything.
Yep.
You know, we saw early goals. We saw a response from Joy. We saw a penalty kick given. We saw a penalty kick saved. I mean, yeah, if you were playing sort of first half bingo, I think you'd have a winner.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of marks on the board. Let's just put it that way. So that's your story here. 45 minutes into this one, 45 to go. Your score: Duluth FC 2, Joy Athletic Club of St. Louis Park, the Goats 1. And we'll take an extended audio break and come back with the start of the second half of this NPSL North Conference contest and playoff contest between the Blue Greens and the Goats in about 10 or 15 minutes. And again, your score at the break, 2-1. This is Duluth FC Soccer here on the iFan Sports Network.
At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free. With transparent video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth.
Experimental technicians at Cirrus do more than build. They innovate what's next in aviation. Cirrus is hiring now with competitive pay, great benefits, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free. With transparent video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth.
Cirrus is hiring technicians to finish the exterior of our aircraft. Located in state-of-the-art facilities, this fast-paced position comes with a $3,000 sign-on bonus, competitive pay, and excellent benefits. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
We're back here at the NPSL North Conference semifinal contest between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and Joy Athletic Club, the Goats. 2-1 your score here. Matt Johnson, Joe Mooney, our producer Craig Morrissey, and our camera people Tom Hansen and Tara Anderson here under sunny blue skies to begin the second half of play. The Blue Greens going from right to left in the second 45 minutes, while the Goats going from left to right. Recapping the scoring in that first half. It was Alex Ruiz in the first minute for the Blue Greens to make it 1-0. Liam Pritchard in the 6th to make it 2-0, and then Griffin Price in the 21st to make it 2-1, and that's where we stand as we begin the second 45 minutes of play. A quick reminder, our next broadcast of Blue Green Soccer will come either Saturday or Sunday, depending upon how the second 45 minutes plays out here. If the Blue Greens win, they'll be back here to host the NPSL North Conference Playoff Championship game on Saturday night. And if they lose, they'll be back here on Sunday to take on St. Paul Blackhawks in the Minnesota Super Cup semifinal round. In the meantime, we will have a free kick here coming up as we're waiting for the free kick here on an offside call against Duluth FC. Bennett Kwame will put the ball in play. He'll give it to the far side for Jacob Morlock. Morlock with the left-footed ball now. Tyler Guerrero for the Blue Greens winning the head ball near side. Now Ruiz trying to keep it in and just couldn't do so. Went off the side of his left foot. So we'll have a throw now for the Goats. And it'll be taken quickly here by Noah Kantorowicz. Game settled in nicely after that 21st minute goal from Griffin Price. Got to a point where we were kind of wondering how many goals we were going to have tonight. But it has settled in now as we're in the 47th minute. Coach Joe Mooney a little bit tardy in getting back on the air with me here, but now he's back.
Apologies, Matt.
That's okay, no problem. Alex Ruiz now playing a ball into space. Herrera a little bit late off of his line, but the flag goes up far side for an offside against the Blue Greens. Duluth FC, let's look for about 4 or 5 of those now on the evening, and it'll be a free kick taken here by Kwame. Playing it in the middle, now to the far side. Here's Miranda. And Teddy Miranda will take the opportunity to go all the way back to his own 18 for Paredes. Wandy now getting into it with the right foot. Now Malala coming forward. Laying it up the middle. Now Herrera again off of his line, and he'll grab it. Top of his own 18.
I like the thought there, Matt, from Tabo. Just try to slip Felipe in. It looks like just what we talked about right before half, with JJ starting higher and in the 9, and Liam Pritchard going out wide to the right.
Yeah, playing Ruiz on the left, and almost a 2-forward look down the middle with Oliveira and Oyabamaji for the Blue Greens. Here's Price now off that turnover by the Blue Greens, and now comes right back for Wandy in the middle. And he'll play it back into the 18 now for Paredes. Mark Donaldson now for Tyler Guerrero. Here's Tabo Malala. Malala. All the outside picked off there by Eric Riera for the Goats. And now Joy Athletic will try to build from the back. Here's Morlock in the middle for Kwame. Well, now I see why you were a little bit tardy. You had to get your Reese's
Apologies,
peanut butter cups.
Yeah. Well, I had those all lined up and then ran into a couple of my players, ran into a couple of my daughters.
Oh, yeah. You missed the escapades of Tom Hansen losing a can of Coke.
Oh, no.
It was, yeah, he did find it.
Okay.
Near side now, Micah Folstad. Yeah, that became a talking point at halftime while we were off air. But Tom did find his can of Coke, so it's okay now.
Sounds like I missed a lot.
Now ball in the middle. Right side, Folstad on the right foot. Now he'll play it back for Kantorowicz. Kwame. Far side for Morlock, who had an eventful first half. A couple of tussles with Blue Greens captain Liam Pritchard, but that settled down after Pritchard got tangled up in the net on one of those sequences. Now Folstad. Oh, that one probably stung a bit there for Folstad after Ruiz just teed off and hit it right in his midsection. That'll leave a mark. In the meantime, here is Ruiz again. Far side now, Pritchard. Liam Pritchard. Cutting back. Crossing it in front. Looking for Abamaji, and tackling it away was Kowami. Good intervention there from number 5 in blue. That was a dangerous ball in there coming off the right foot of Liam Pritchard.
I think Liam's already enjoying his spot back out on the wide right there, Matt.
Tierney now leaving it. Here's Philip Caputo. Team it on now. Here's Carver Tierney. Tierney now lining up a shot. That one deflects off Guerrero.
I think it was actually Pearson who got in front of that one.
Was it? A couple of guys were there. Now it's Kawami. Alvarado will go to the far side now. Here's Jacob Morlock. Wandy, who's played a nice game for the Blue Greens. Not sure that he's the one that would be replaced by Luis Vergara had he been available tonight, but either way, he and Donaldson have performed quite well in the middle.
Yeah, again, I think Luis would probably go in the middle with Wandy, and I think just because, again, I think Donaldson has so many options that he can play. Does he move into the midfield? Most likely. And just add more sturdiness there. That said, you really can't fault the 3 midfielders who have played up to this point with Felipe Tabo and Peter Pearson in there.
Now Kawami out on top. Shields the ball away from Ruiz. Nice tackle there by Oliveira. Joy maintaining possession. Here's Tierney. Price on the far side. Now Riera. Tierney stepping inside. Carver Tierney. And the ball taken off of his foot. Now here's Ruiz. Didn't get a positive touch on it though, and Kantorowicz takes over. Down the near side for Caputo. Crossing it out in front. And Joy scores.
Yeah, just a miscue there between Paredes and Wandy. Paredes had called him off and tried to get low and on it, and Wandy just came right through him.
Yeah, that was defensive error there by the Blue Greens. As Caputo crossed that ball in.
Man, I was just about to say, Tierney and Caputo have demanded a lot more attention already in the first 7 minutes of the second half. They're just starting to find more space in between the lines. You see Tierney sort of driving all the way through the midfield as he drops back in. And if you're Duluth, you do not want to let those 2 players get highly activated and certainly not start finding each other in sequences.
Well, and this after we had been talking about how well they had played in the back. The communication had been good, but that was a communication breakdown there. And now the Blue Greens' 2-goal lead is gone as Alvarado scores. The assist to Caputo. And we have a brand new ball game, so the Blue Greens going to have to tighten up here. Now ball over the top. Here's Oliveira. Oyabamaji. This is also where that penalty kick save comes into play as well, Coach. At the end of that first half, here's Pritchard. Ball in the middle.
When we talked about it, how important it would have been to get that 3rd goal just to sort of dominate the momentum.
Now Caputo going right around Wandy, comes into the middle, cuts to the top, gets a shot away, deflects, and it'll come in on goal.
Really good recovery there from the Blue Greens defense. Get a chance to see how fast Philip Caputo can be in the open field.
Oliveira takes a spill on the far side, courtesy of Morlock. And we'll have substitutions here, looks like, for Duluth FC.
Couple subs coming on. I think that's Joao on the far
Oliveira's
side.
going to come out. Magalhaes is going to come in. So also Alexis Santa Maria is going to come in and take out Peter Pearson.
Yeah, and you see what they've done is, so it's actually Nathan Porter that comes in.
The Porter.
And he'll go into the center back along with Wandy, and they've moved Mark Donaldson into the center mid.
So Porter comes in. Another central defender by trade. Now here's Magalhaes coming forward. Playing it for Oyabamaji, who gets through, gets a shot away and lifted high over the bar. And Herrera now is down.
Yeah, he might have landed awkwardly there.
Sure, JJ would have wanted that one back.
I was actually taking notes back. I missed the shot, but I just looked up in time to see Herrera land, and it looked like he just came down a bit
central defender
awkwardly.
by trade. Now here's Magalhaes
Certainly
coming
hope he's
forward.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who the back of keeper would be right now from the coach.
Still gets a shot away and lifted high over the bar.
Derek Stevens, possibly.
Possibly, yeah, he would be the one I think that would come in. Another central defender by trade. Herrera is up. Now here's Magalhaes coming forward.
Playing it for Oyabamaji. Still gets a shot away and lifted
High over the bar.
As JJ came through, we're just watching the replay here. It looks like his shin maybe made contact with Oscar Herrera's head.
Well, Herrera's going to stay in.
Yeah.
Shaking the cobwebs loose, I suppose, there a little bit. And now we have the goal kick taken by Herrera, so hopefully he'll be all right long term. Nothing to the head area ever feels good, Coach, and I never feel good about seeing anything go to the head of any player, regardless of who they played for or the situation. You never want to see anybody take one to the head, of course, at an area of emphasis in all sports these days, as this ball now coming back. Paredes off of his line.
Yeah, I think Alex originally there was going to maybe play it out to Wandy, and Caputo did a good job of closing that down, and I think Polo made the smart play there to just send that one up to midfield.
Guerrero's throw now. Now Kalami will go to the far side. Here's Morlock. Morlock sending it wide now. Griffin Price. It's been that spin move a couple different times now. Now Alvarado, who tied it up just a few minutes ago. 52nd minute his goal. We're now in the 58th. 2-2 contest. Donaldson popping it up in the air.
Yeah, and Duluth is going to look for any excuse to get the ball out into the right channel onto Liam Pritchard.
Not a bad option. Certainly he has produced in the past in playoff situations. We're well aware of that, Coach. Now Wandy sending a ball forward. Hits the referee. Kind of a knuckleball there, and the referee tried to duck down and ended up striking him. So
when you saw JJ almost pick it out of the air, he knew the whistle was coming at some point, but pulled his arm back to let the official actually stop the game before he handled it.
Now we have a drop ball here for Magalhaes, who just came in a moment ago. One of the subs that the Blue Greens brought in. Here's Miranda. Opening up, and now it'll be a throw. Far side, Miranda right in front of his own bench.
The move to put Donaldson into the midfield has allowed Tabo to just get a little bit higher up the pitch too, so it's more of a, it was kind of a three-plane midfield before, but now it's really kind of a 1-2 with Donaldson playing as a 6 and Tabo and Joao playing really kind of on the same plane.
Oyabamaji, this time no call.
Yeah.
Drew one in the first half. It's going to take something spectacular, I think, for him to be.
I know it's hard to give a second penalty, and I do think JJ held his run up just a little bit there, but there was definitely plenty of contact.
Pritchard now. Trying to switch the field for Guerrero, and that one broken up. And now here's Caputo coming back on a counter. Alvarado.
I think if the ref gives that penalty, I don't think Joey's got a lot to really complain about there. That looked pretty clear cut.
Kalami now. Morlock's ball far side. Price now in the middle. He'll flick there from Juarez. Now it's Guerrero. Outside Magalhaes. Duluth doesn't have any numbers forward at the moment, so Magalhaes will go now for Donaldson, and then his ball off to the right. Blue Green's a little lackluster right now, Coach.
They've swapped Liam Pritchard and Alex Ruiz. Pritchard down the left side and Ruiz out on the right.
This ball up the middle, picked off by Wandy, who will bring it forward. Malala. And Malala had space there, but instead he decided to go on the diagonal, and it was well off the mark with the pass. And to force things maybe a little bit too much right now in a 2-2 contest. Kawami now. Morlock with the left-footed ball. Now Wandy. Miranda. Mark Donaldson. Now Donaldson will take the space in front of him.
Well done from Teddy Miranda to keep that ball in play and keep Duluth in possession.
Morlock with a timely tackle there. Nice intervention by number 93 in blue. Now Pritchard trying to release Magalhaes forward.
Defensively now, Benakwame has really dropped into the back line. It's almost become a 5-back. We saw him throughout the first half. You know, after the first 20 minutes or so, he started to drop in to try to get onto the ball, in possession of the ball. You see him here now in possession of the ball. But even defensively, he's dropped back in now in between the center backs. And like I said, have almost created a 5-back at times.
Now Herrera in his own 18.
And again, with players like Carver Tierney and Philip Caputo, you can afford to play numbers back in the defense and still feel like you've got a chance to score because you have two of the best, in my opinion, two of the best players in the conference up there in those front two spots.
Juarez now will go all the way back. Here's Kawami. And Riera now for the Goats. Now Juarez, edge of the blue-green 18, leaves it back. Here's Price. That one off the side of his foot. Be tracked down, though, near side. Volstad. Now chipping it up will be Caputo. I don't know if Alex Paredes saw that ball very well.
Yeah, it actually had some pretty gnarly bend on it, Matt, and I think it was headed toward the far post. And it's one of those where you don't know what's coming in behind you, so I think Alex makes the smart play to just go ahead and send that one out of the box. Take no chances.
Now Volstad's ball in the middle. Tierney turning, getting a shot away, and that's well off the post to the left.
You see how well Carver Tierney does, though, to create space for himself in tight spaces.
Another substitution here. Looks like Luca Barbaro is going to join the party here for Duluth FC. It looks like Tabo Malala's night might be over. Move Miranda up to midfield, it looks like. Barbaro will take that right outside back position. We saw this in the second half against Siouxland United as well, Coach.
Yeah, and I understand the idea behind getting Luca out on the right side. He had some creative punch. He's been very good at just adding the element in the channels. I will say I don't know if Miranda is the best option to bring in the midfield. I like him in the back line somewhere. But I've been proven wrong before.
Well, we'll see how this plays
hope
out.
One of those.
Okay.
Well, and I do think if Teddy's going to play in the midfield, he's going to need to play more of like a holding 8, where he's not really getting box to box. He's in there kind of in support of Donaldson, and it just allows Joao to play almost like a second striker underneath Liam Pritchard, who's now shifted back into the center forward role.
Barbaro trying to play it forward, takes a deflection. Now Miranda. Donaldson. Roy Obamaju had an inside position against Alvarado. They go shoulder to shoulder, and then he's going to call the foul.
Yeah, and it was originally shoulder to shoulder. The defender did a good job there of just kind of turning his shoulder in, which meant that eventually Obamaji went from shoulder to shoulder with number 19 Alvarado, and then eventually it became a shoulder to the back. It's the right call, as much as the fans here don't want to hear it.
Ball to the far side now, nearly intercepted by Ruiz. Warlock. Now Barbaro for the Blue Greens will go all the way back.
Yeah, you go back to the foul, Matt, and every time you see the contact being made anywhere around the numbers, you're going to get the call.
And Miranda, just a miss hit there. Which was too bad. There could have been an opportunity there. Herrera now to the far side. Choice possession has been much better here in the second half. Now here come the Goats. Outside now Tierney against Wandy. Cutting inside. Gets a shot away and he scores. And now the Blue Greens are going to have to come from behind. It's been a rough second half here for Duluth.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Matt, I do think that Duluth's going to have to figure out something different in the midfield. I think that the pairings there in the midfield just are not going to match up, aren't going to complement each other the way that they need to, and especially if they're going to try to get on the offensive side now and try to score and get back in the game.
Gave Tierney too much. His fourth goal, by the way, of the season against the Blue Greens. Just gave him too much space at the top of the 18.
Yeah, and again, when he gets himself in between the lines, he's so good at driving through that space, and obviously you see the quality of the finisher that he is to tuck that away in the far post.
So now the Blue Greens have given up 3 straight goals. This is the first time this has happened all year for the Blue Greens, by the way. Just have really it's been kind of an implosion here at a certain level, Coach.
Yeah, it's still plenty of time left, right? So now the squad gets tested, and we said it before. They've shown that they can be a side that when they get down in a game, they find ways to get back into it. We'll see if that holds true here. That's going to have to be. I would think that's got to be a card at some point, Matt. It's late enough. It's a tactical foul. Kind of checks a lot of the boxes that you'd think at this point in the game it's probably going to be a card.
Guerrero trying to center it. And we'll have our second corner kick of the match here for the Blue Greens. Here's Magalhaes now to take it. Bending ball back post. Cleared up the middle. Richard now trying to bring it down. And now that one will go out of play. Now Oyabamaji. Guerrero, flag stays down. In the middle now looking for Pritchard. Over Sham, now it's popped straight up in the air, far side. Here's Ruiz. Back toward the middle. Cleared away. Picking it up now is Donaldson. Now Guerrero. Being defended by 2 players. Right on the edge of the box here.
Well done from Tyler Guerrero there.
Teddy Miranda standing over this one. 2-player wall now. Duluth FC. With 8 players in and around the box.
If I'm Miranda, I'm going to go low here, right at Tyler Guerrero. Look for him to dummy it and see if he can't find one.
Said he tried to go high and goes over the top of the bar.
It's a tough angle to score from there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Herrera was going to always have that one covered. Like I said, I think that's one where you put it low, strike it knee height or below, hope for a deflection, hope for a some sort of a jacks or a dummy in there.
Now Guerrero and Alvarado giving away the foul there. Now Juarez will go all the way back. Yabamaji trying to bring it down. And now sent forward by Morlock. Headed down now near side. Micah Folstead. In the last 20 minutes here, Duluth FC down now. Led 2-1. The goals in the second half from Alvarado and Tierney. Have the Blue Greens in a hole now. Now Guerrero. And a lot of whistles against the Blue Greens here as well. And Guerrero having a face-off with our center referee here. And another substitution here for Duluth FC. And yeah, they're going to get Teddy Miranda out of the game. Probably not a bad idea at this point.
Yeah, again, I think Miranda had a good night. I liked him in the fullback. I don't think the move into the midfield had paid off the way that the staff maybe had thought it might.
Alexis Santa Maria, the new player here for the Blue Greens in the 73rd minute.
And I think he'll play almost more like a 6 and allow Donaldson more into the 8 role.
Now Kantorowicz. Guerrero. Inside flick now, Yabamaji. Gonna need him down the stretch. Now Magalhaes. And will avoid Alvarado into the corner. Hits her on him again. Magalhaes now coming on the end line. Magalhaes all the way in. Now Yabamaji winds one up. Flicks up in the air, still loose, and brought down. Thought the ball might have come a little bit earlier from Magalhaes there as he tried to go across the face of goal coach.
Yeah, he did everything right up until the final ball. He needs to find the cutback. He's got options. I mean, he's essentially beaten 3 players, first on the line and then 2 down the byline. He's got to find the cutback there. He had, like I said, he had options. But it's a good sign of life from Duluth. It looks to me like the substitution is already paying off.
Here's Wandy now on the right foot. Barbaro. Oh, Nathan Porter for the Blue Greens coming forward on the left foot. Donaldson. Magalhaes now to the outside. Here's Guerrero. Keeping the ball in play around Alvarado. Guerrero. Ball takes a deflection. Morlock heading it away. Oyabamaji now losing his footing, and then Guerrero comes in and takes out Micah Falstead. He's got to be close to getting a card, too, you would think, based on that earlier conversation. Blue-green's going to make another substitution here. Azar looks like Joy. Interesting that the Goats really have not substituted at all. In fact, I think this is their first sub of the game. It's going to be JJ Oyabamaji just going to come off. And I believe it's Noah Johnson that's coming into the game.
Noah Johnson, the Bemidji, Minnesota native.
I have a feeling that was a pre-planned substitution, coach, in the 75th minute here.
Played his college ball at Northern Michigan the last couple of years.
Donaldson now. Pritchard, edge of the 18 against Kwame. Taking it wide. And then ran out of real estate. Goal kick taken by Kwame, now sent over midfield. On ball into the corner now. Edge of the 18, it's Noah Johnson. Pritchard now up the middle. Here's Guerrero. Santa Maria wasn't expecting the layoff, and it'll be cleared out. It'll be a throw now for the Blue Greens.
Tyler Guerrero is really taking his game to the next level here in the second half.
Yeah, he's been very good.
He's been all over the park.
And now he'll draw a corner kick. And now we have a player down. I believe it's Noah Kantorowicz. Convenient timing on that injury. Slow things up just a little bit here.
Yeah, if I'm Duluth, I'm going to continue to give Tyler Guerrero and Luca Barbaro just unlimited access up and down the channel. Continue to try to find Liam Pritchard.
And now Kantorowicz. I've also taken that ball in a bad spot. The way he's walking off there, it'll be a corner kick. Magalhaes will take it here. To the far side now, Ruiz flips back inside. And cleared back now. Here's Noah Johnson.
Noah Johnson scored a big goal in Minnesota Cup play earlier this year.
He did. He has only one goal in the season. It came against St. Croix Legends in a 3-3 draw in the Minnesota Super Cup. Here's Ruiz now. Playing it inside. Open. There's Wandy with the shot, and he leaves it wide.
Boy, he won't get many more open looks than that.
Oh, he had a really good look. Actually, could have probably even taken an extra touch if he needed to.
Yeah, and no offense to the big man, but if you want that ball to fall to anybody in the center of the box, usually not your center defender, you want that to find a striker or a number 10.
Herrera now giving it a ride. Santa Maria winning the head ball. Pritchard now has Barbaro on the far channel, and then they got tangled up in their run. Barbaro came inside. The ball went outside.
Yeah, and you saw Liam first wanted to swim and try to try to hold the runner up, and he smartly just pulled himself back. They don't need to be making fouls. Every foul at this point just takes time off the clock. Another miscue there from Paredes, and
yeah,
I think he was expecting Donaldson to maybe
been
curl his run outside.
There's been a lot of errors in the second half, Coach. There's just been a lot of mistakes by the Blue Greens in the back. Some mistakes we really haven't seen much of this year, if at all. I mean, this is the most goals we've seen the Blue Greens give up all year. In NPSL North action, they had that 3-3 draw with St. Croix Legends earlier on, but
well, again, you highlight some of the importance of a guy like Vergara, who has started nearly every game for them this summer. And you take that away, and away goes some of the chemistry. Should have been a high boot there, Matt. That's about as clear cut as they come.
Yeah. Some of the calls have been a little inconsistent here.
I don't think the center ref actually saw it. I think he was still tailing his run back. But that's one where you maybe lean on the assistant referee who's got a pretty clear view of it to help make that call.
82nd minute, so the Blue Greens probably have about 8 minutes and change here to try to find an equalizer at some point as Porter comes forward. Magalhaes flipping it over the top. On the run now, Ruiz. Edge of the 18 on the left foot. Cutting back against the grain. Now tried to go sharp angle with the shot. He had numbers in the box. I'm surprised he didn't try to clip that in. Again, just not the right decision at the right time here for the Blue Greens here these last few sequences.
Well, again, Matt, when you find those big diagonal balls that end up in the half space, and you've already got the defender beat, I really think you need to start looking for the cutback ball, and you need to do it on your first touch. It's entirely too many touches in the half spaces from Duluth right now, and they just need to be more automatic with it.
Now Santa Maria. Magalhaes tripping over the ball. Now Price. And Wandy going to get whistled for that one. Just lackluster from the Blue Greens right now. And give Joy credit, they've been the better team here in the second half.
Certainly the more opportunistic team, Matt. I still think Duluth has had a bit more of the possession. They've probably had more chances in the final third. But Joy has certainly taken advantage of their opportunities.
They've been far more clinical, that's for sure. Here's Juarez now. Not the restart. Kwame now near side, and Folstead heads that ball out. And there needs to be some urgency now from the Blue Greens here.
He's called him for being too far forward with the ball, Matt, and Johnson's going to end up taking the throw-in from actually higher up the field. If you want to lose credibility, like that's one way to do it.
Now Barbaro try and release Ruiz on the run on the far side. Morlock can play it all the way back. And Herrera will just volley it almost out of the stadium to the far side. We'll have a throw now coming up.
Well executed with their press again there from Duluth.
Santa Maria flipping a ball in. Johnson with the diving header, and they're going to call a corner kick here, it looks like. In the meantime, looks like the Goats want to make a substitution here in the 85th minute. If the Blue Greens find a game-tying goal, we'll play an extra 30.
Duluth just needs to be aware. Philip Caputo way out here on the near side to us, Matt. the quick outlet option.
Agaleas will take this one. Bending ball back post. Headed down, ball's loose. Guerrero tried to tee it up. Now Pritchard. Pritchard getting a shot away, and that one will go wide.
Good ball in there, and another good ball in there from Joao. That one looked to be about the most menacing.
By the way, if Joy Athletic wins this game, holds on to win it, they will be on the road on Saturday for the NPSL North Championship against either Sioux Falls Thunder or Siouxland United, depending upon how that one turns out. So it'll be another road game for the Goats, regardless of whether they win this game or not. Now here's Caputo coming inside.
Well done from Luca Barbaro there.
Carver Tierney now against Santa Maria. Keeping the ball in. Right down the 6-yard area. Cleared away by the Blue Greens. Now here's Guerrero, and now he'll get tripped up. I'm surprised he didn't just relay that ball forward.
Yeah, and there's finally the first card of the match.
It'll be for Micah Folstad. Now in the 87th minute, so time is of the essence here for Duluth FC if they want their NPSL campaign to continue.
And Guerrero just showing his frustration there. Little nuances, little things. Have to wait for the official to blow the whistle before you play the ball back in, and it ends up just, it costs you seconds.
Now Porter coming forward.
Was Wandy onside there?
Well, went for naught anyway as he passed it to the outside, and now they pushed him forward. Donaldson dropping again, and now a throw coming up. 88th minute.
Well done from Noah Johnson there.
And now Price to the outside. Barbaro now. Ruiz. Over the top for Pritchard on the far corner. Liam Pritchard. Barbaro. Now another throw. Blue Green's got to hurry. Throw comes in now. Ruiz. Couldn't start out his footing, and now it's cleared back over midfield. Paredes. Santa Maria to the outside. Giving it a ride now. Wandy up the middle. Deflects up in the air. Now on the near side, Noah Johnson. Johnson now taking it wide. Left foot across to the middle. Ruiz stepping through, gets a shot away, and he juggled it up and then overcooked it.
Tell you, Noah Johnson has impressed me tonight, Matt. He's not as crafty as some of the other wingers at the options that they've got in Duluth, but he's constantly making the right decisions. He's finding the right service.
Well, that's sort of how the second half has gone right there.
Yeah, I think about 2 or 3 Blue Greens could have had a shot at that one. And just the hesitation and the finish there. I'd like to see it go first time. In the 90th minute here, Matt.
Yep. Coming right down to the end of this. We'll see how much added time there is. Wouldn't think a whole lot. This ball now to the far side. Looking for Wandy. Morlock sending it out. Still in play.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing. I think actually Luca Barro actually got a little bit of a touch on that ball.
Porter. Agaleas. They don't really have time for a lot of this kind of stuff. Got to get the ball forward. Santa Maria now switches the field far side. Ruiz. And Caputo decided he needed to send the ball out of the stadium.
Yeah,
Yellow card for him on that.
I'd be surprised if they don't send everybody up. You almost wonder, do you have even Alex Paredes come up and take it and just get numbers forward at this point? You're into stoppage time.
Oh, good coaching here now by Joy. They're going to try to kill this out as Juarez looks like he's going to take a very slow walk off the field here, trying to kill off the extra seconds.
You've got Mark Donaldson lined up to the left if he wanted to try to shift it.
Here's Ruiz. Lifting the ball in. Headed down by Wandy and grabbed by Herrera.
I would think maybe another 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time is all they'll get.
Herrera giving it a ride.
There should be some automatic time added on for both goals, for both yellow cards, I would think.
Porter. And offside now is going to be Wandy as he tried to go forward for that ball. And now he'll get a yellow card for taking out Herrera.
Yeah, no, I don't. Was there a card? I didn't see a card.
He might have. I'm not sure. It was close.
I would be surprised. I mean, he got a full touch on the ball.
Now Donaldson pumping it forward, looking for Guerrero. Guerrero now. And now the flag goes up far side.
Yeah, and I understand the idea of getting Wandy up forward, up top, get a big guy up there, but he's got to do the basic things. He's got to stay on side. It's 2 sequences in a row. He's found himself off.
Now headed out, and that could just about do it here. Off the head of Porter. That ball sent forward now. Morlock trying to win it down. Santa Maria's ball through the middle. That's brought down now. Here's Tierney.
Yeah, and Tierney was offside there.
Well, the referee is going to replace the ball here. Paredes. Ruiz into the box with the left foot. That one will skip the head. We might have one more opportunity here for the Blue Greens. Guerrero will take it. In the box, Kantorowicz flicking it up in the air. Pritchard trying to win it down. Now it's still loose. Nobody in a white jersey, cleared away. Paredes will send it back in again. Ruiz. Now Donaldson. Through the middle. And away by Kwame. Now Paredes. Here come the Goats forward, and that shot will go off the mark. That taken by Tierney. Some tired legs there from Carver Tierney, it looked like on that one.
Yeah, he's put a shift in for sure.
Nice ball forward. Now here's Guerrero. that one slid out.
Well, that's exactly what Duluth has been looking for, is those overlaps over the top of Wandy. Just sending it big into him, let him win one, let your speedy guys try to get on the end of it.
Guerrero's throw. Up the middle, Santa Maria with the shot attempt. Donaldson now trying to step through. He'll get a shot attempt. That one deflects. Now the flag goes up.
Yeah, and I would expect that's probably going to do it here, Matt.
Yeah, that'll do it. Looks like the NPSL season is going to be over here for Duluth FC. In a matter of moments here. It'll probably be one kick of the ball, and yep, and there it is. And Joy Athletic ends Duluth FC's NPSL season with a 3-2 win. And that one's going to sting for the Blue Greens. Still have a playoff game in the Minnesota Super Cup coming up on Sunday against St. Paul Blackhawks. But, boy, Duluth FC really let that one get away, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream start, obviously, you know, going up 2-0 in the opening minutes of the game. Like we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, sometimes scoring those early goals, it just changes the energy of a game, and it changes the tactics a little bit. And rather than having to chase the game like they've kind of done, you know, throughout most of their wins this season, they had to sit back and kind of try to protect it. And I think it shifted the momentum just that much, Matt. And credit to Joy for finding a way back in. Again, scoring that first half goal was really big for them to find their way back into the game. Getting the penalty save right before halftime to keep things 2-1, massive for them. And then an early second half goal to level things up and really try to attack the game from there. So, well-fought game on both sides, but credit to Joy. I think they are the team that deserves to go on in the playoffs here.
Yeah, I thought they were better tonight, actually, especially in that second half. The Blue Greens just made too many mistakes. Too many errors in the back, and it ends up costing the Blue Greens in this one as their NPSL season comes to an end with a 3-2 loss. Recapping the scoring, the Blue Greens taking a 1-0 lead on the fifth goal of the season from Alex Ruiz. That was in the first minute to make it 1-0, and then the 6th minute, Liam Pritchard with his 4th goal of the season to make it 2-0. But from there, it was all the goats as Griffin Price in the 21st minute made it a 2-1 contest. That's what we say at the break in the second half. It was Christopher Alvarado in the 52nd minute from Caputo to make it 2-2, and then Carver Tierney in the 67th minute would have proved to be the game winner, and the NPSL season is now over for Duluth FC. As in all contests, they now are 10 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. They still have a Super Cup match, as I mentioned here, we played at Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium against St. Paul Blackhawks. That's a 4 p.m. start, I do believe, here on this Sunday. But, boy, that one's going to sting for a while, and Coach Tomas Pazzo, coaching staff, have a lot to think about after the way that game ultimately unfolded, Coach.
Yeah, and I think now all efforts point to the Minnesota Super Cup and a chance to hopefully move on in that event on Sunday.
That's a tough one to swallow, especially for the guys, especially after being the number 1 seed, playing on your home field, and having a 2-0 lead in the beginning of the game. Letting it get away, that's a tough one to swallow. And like I said, there'll be a lot of introspection by the Blue Greens and also the coaches after this one here tonight. Big thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch. A big thank you also to everybody who's tuned in all season long. I will not be here for the Super Cup game on Sunday, so this is my final broadcast of the year here for Duluth FC. I'm hoping to do it again next year. It's been a fun year, Coach. And I don't think, are you going to be here on Sunday? I'm not even sure.
I'll be here, Matt.
You'll be here? All right. Well, then you can pick up the pieces for me there. It's always fun working with you, though, Coach. I always enjoy it.
I'm not broadcasting by myself. No shot.
Maybe someone will be here to do the play-by-play. I'll leave that up to Craig Morrissey, our producer here at Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium, to figure out who's going to be doing the play-by-play on that one. In the meantime, like I said, big thank you to everybody who tuned in all year long. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you'll join us again on Sunday for Duluth FC and the Minnesota Super Cup against St. Paul Blackhawks. So for my color man, Joe Mooney, our camera people, Tom Hansen and Terry Anderson, and our producer, Craig Morrissey, this is Matt Johnson. One more time, repeating the final score. The NPSL season is over for Duluth FC. Credit to Joy Athletic. Final score here, Joy Athletic 3, Duluth FC 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Duluth FC Soccer on the iFan Sports Network.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
Cirrus is hiring technicians to finish the exterior of our aircraft. Located in state-of-the-art facilities, this fast-paced position comes with a $3,000 sign-on bonus, competitive pay, and excellent benefits. Apply today at cirrusaircraft.com/careers.
At Volkswagen of Duluth, we do things differently. Our no-commission sales team helps you find the perfect fit, pressure-free. With transparent video maintenance, you'll always know what your vehicle needs. The all-electric VW Buzz brings retro style with modern tech, while the 2025 Taos is perfect for city streets and weekend getaways. Proud members of the Wolfsburg Crest Club and winners of the 2024 Consumer Satisfaction Award. Start your adventure today at Volkswagen of Duluth.